Hey friends, it's Len here at 1A Auto. Today I'm working on a 2013 Ford F250. I'm going to be doing a rear door handle. It'll be a very simple job. I want to be the guy that shows you how to do it. So if you need any parts or instructional videos, you can always check us out at 1aauto.com. Thanks. First thing we're going to want to do is locate where all our mounting bolts are. Okay, so feeling along the bottom, I've got one right here. I'm going to come across. Keep feeling, see if I feel any more. All right, so I've got the one, like I said. Okay, now I'm just gonna come right here. This piece right here should just pop right up. So I'm just gonna try to use my trim tool, see if I can get it to pop up. You don't wanna use something like a screwdriver in this instance, obviously. It's your truck, you can do what you want, but I would go with something that isn't gonna break anything. Here we are. So we'll just take this, check our wiring harness. I always check them, make sure there's no funny colors. Rainbow colors in this instance aren't always the best. Here's the little clips, make sure they're both on there. Those just press into these little slots. We'll set this aside. So I've got my 7mm. I've got my one screw here. So I'm just gonna take that out. Turn to the left, you can use a ratchet, but it's a 7mm head, okay? I'll put that where I can find it. There's another screw head there, and another one located right there. So I'll just pull these out. There it is. Get that out. My little magnet. It's the same. Just grab the other one. All three are the same, can't mix them up. Here we go. All right, so we know we've got all our mounting screws out. There's nothing else that can be felt. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my trim tool. You can use something like this, or if you have a skinnier one, it might be easier to get in to get it started. I usually start at the bottom. I'll just try to weasel it in under there. And then I'll just give them a little tug. Okay, so this doesn't feel like it's a pull out. If it doesn't feel like it's pulling out very easy, then it's probably a pull up. All right, so let's try that. Here we are. So that's an easy way to tell if you try to use your trim tools and it doesn't want to pull out easy, then it's probably a pull up. So here we are. Now we're behind here. We've got our wire off right there. We've only got one speaker wire left. There's a little push in the center right there. Just gonna squeeze it, pull that off. So a push. Now we've got our door panel off. Okay, so now to get behind here, we're gonna have to remove this plastic, okay? We wanna be careful not to tear it, or at least as careful as we can. It has adhesives. Just kind of holds it to the door, so just go slow, wiggle it back and forth. There we go. I'm just gonna do that down the whole side of the door over here. I'm gonna try to bring it back. So I'm just gonna remove it back as far as I can. You can remove it completely if you want to, or if you feel like you need to. We'll see how it goes. But first I'm gonna come up here. Just gonna use my trim tool. I'm gonna try to pop this out of the door. I'm just trying to be careful not to break it, because I would like to get it right back to where I took it from, obviously. So there we are. Very nice. Now we'll continue with this. There we go. Just continuing along here. Like I said, I'm trying to be careful not to tear anything. There might be some areas that get a little rip. You know, you can tape it back up if you want. It's not really an air seal so much. There we go. You can see in there pretty good at this point. If I need to go further, I'll go further, but at least for me, this is out of my way. So now all right. So now our next step is now that we've got off the vapor barrier and everything, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take out this bolt right here, and that's gonna make it so I can move this window channel around on the inside here, and then I'll be able to get to the green clip that's back there nice and easy. You'll notice that the window regulator's been removed. That's just for the purpose of the video. You shouldn't actually have to remove any of that to do this job in particular. So I just wanted to at least make note of that. Don't worry about the window regulator unless it's really in your way. But whatever. Anyway, 10mm head right here. I'm gonna turn it to the left. Okay. I'll move out of the way here so you can take a peek inside. There should be a green clip in there. Let's see, right up by my hand, hopefully I'm not in the way. There's a green clip where the rod comes down from the latch itself. I'm gonna unclip that clip, and then the rod's gonna be able to move around. And then there's a 10mm right here. And then there should be another one that I'll get right through this hole right here. Just pull out this little rubber. Right in there's another 10, and then our handle should come right off. Okay? Okay. So here's our little green clip right where my index finger's on. I'm just gonna grab it, pull it towards me. Should want to break free. There it is. Slide the rod off of there. Perfect. Now we're clear to get those 10mm off. Okay, so I thought these nuts right here were 10s, but they're actually 11s. So I was wrong, sorry about that. It's an 11mm. Just gonna leave that one partially on. So while I do this one I can remove completely, and I don't have to worry about the handle falling out while I'm working. The other one's easier to get to. If you want to use something like a magnet, you could use a magnet. Just something to grab that nut, so when it finally does come free, we won't hopefully lose it in the door. That's what it looks like. 11mm. Okay, circle around. Just gonna grab this nut. I'm holding the handle. Almost there. Okay. Oop, there's my other 11. Give the door handle a wiggle. Okay. So there we are. Here's our rod. So here we go. We have the back side of our door handle. See the way it works? You try to open it, pushes this down, which would push this down, and it would unlatch your door, okay? So now we've got mounting bolt here, mounting stud there, the two nuts, they're gonna go through these holes. This right here is gonna go in our little green doodad there. Once it's in, and these are all bolted in, I'm gonna flip it over and lock it in, okay? So I'm just gonna go like this, being careful for my paint. There we are. Grab my extension. There it is. Let's see. Okay. Try not to drop it. I'm not going to push too hard because I don't want to push my handle back out of the door on the other side, right? Help you started. Do this one. Okay. Very nice. We'll grab our ratchet. We'll snug those right down. Easy peasy. Make sure we put our rubber plug back there, okay? All right, so now I'm in search for my green clip. Got my rod. I'm gonna push it right in there. I'm gonna take my green clip, lock her in. And there we go. Perfect. Let's move along. Okay, so now let's test it with the door still open, so we know if something goes wrong, we can still get to everything, right? I'm just gonna take a small screwdriver. The door thinks it's closed now. Okay. Now the door thinks that I'm opening it. Closed, no pulling on the handle. Pulling on the handle, I'm opening it. All right, you can try with the lock. I'm gonna go with the assumption the door is locked now. Locked, handle. Nothing. Nothing. Unlocked. Try this handle. There we are. So we know it functions properly, so that's great. Now we can continue on. We've got our rubber grommet. Just gonna go ahead and plug it in. A little wiggle, not falling back out. Booyah. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and put our bolt in. It's the one that has the big washer there. I'm just gonna line up my hole. Pretty easy. See if I can lift it. Here we go. Go ahead and blast it in. Nice and snug. It's with my 10mm. There we go. Let's move along. Just gonna see about getting everything lined up. Make sure we got it going the right way here. Gonna flip it and flip it and flip it. This part went up here. Okay. Pretty easy. Try to line everything up. These holes, it's important to have it lined up with because that's where your panel is going to sit into, right? So let's get it all stuck back on there. Grab our little cables. These actually come up and through here. Just like that. This needs to come down a little bit to get screw holes. So let's see if I can get it down. You can spend as much time as you like doing this. It's probably still never going to come out perfect, so I guess it depends on your definition of perfect. There we go. Seems pretty great. Now we can move along. Okay, time to get this prepped up. We're going to take our speaker wire. We're gonna get it back up where we took it from. There we are. Okay, I'm just gonna tuck this behind the handle. Makes it look nice. Get this all going. Looks pretty great. We've got our door panel. Got our slot right here. Just gonna go over that. And we've got all of our little prongs going all the way around, okay? All those need to fit into these. All right, and then of course this. You know, this is all going to get reattached. So, remember when we were taking it off? This one right here. So I'm just going to latch this in now while I'm thinking about it. It's easy to forget things like that. Let's see if I can't grab our wire and get this up to where we're going to need it, because it's going to be super hard to get to once the door panel's all back together. I'm gonna get our lock. Odds are you're gonna push down on the lock right now and lock your door, so make sure that you have access to getting into your vehicle at this point. Just make sure everything's pushed in. Okay, let's give it a feel. If it feels like it's bulging out anywhere, I probably don't have to tell you, but it's probably not latched in, right? Door lock still works. I can hear it over here. That's great. We've got our window switch assembly. Just gonna go ahead and take that. I'm gonna listen for a click noise. Sounds great. We still got our little mounting hardware here. Get it lined up. Bonk, 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 bonk. There we go. Okay, we've got a hole here and 2 holes there. Got our 3 screws. We'll get them in. Gonna crank this puppy up a little bit. Okay.
Thanks for watching. Visit 1AAuto.com, your place for DIY auto repairs, for great parts, great service, and more content.